Hey YouTube, it's Christy Nitro from the fabulous Las Vegas area, and I have a art journal flip through for you guys. Again, it's a continuation of where I left off on my little journey, and I was really surprised that some of you guys wanted to share the journey with me. So thank you. It means more than you'll ever know. I found out I love playing with craft paper and black paper and graph paper and dot paper, pretty much anything but white paper. That is my true conclusion to playing and whatnot. So I left off in the craft journal, and I love craft. I'll give you an example right now. If I did this color combo to get it as gritty as this page turned out, it wouldn't have on white paper. I absolutely love the way that it turned out, and it gives it a completely different feeling with it being grungy. Even though she's in her shiny dress, I got parts of it shined up and it's pink and she's pretty and she's living the life. The background kind of says it all with the grit and the grime, and that's exactly how Vegas is, at least in my eyes, in my experience of living here thus far. I called it Sir Thriving Vegas. It's a good little take on everything, and dream the big one. So many people just want to hit it big out here and live the dream, so really fitting. This is a Viva, I don't even know what I just said. Scratch that, Viva Las Vegas stamp. Love that place. Their stamps have attitude, and I think that's something that should really be in everyone's art journaling, is some kind of attitude. If you feel the way, don't ever be afraid to show it, because it's your art, and that's the great thing about keeping an art journal. Moving on to this page, I liked it because it's so contrasting. You have the grit again in the background, the vintage feel with the browns and the old papers, and then there's prima dolls. You're like, what is going on here? But overall, I think everything works in the end. I'll give you a close-up so you can see how it all comes together with taking away some color, adding the different dots, and this is a canvas sticker. I think it was made for a little kid, and I ended up using it anyway. Perfect. Just watercolored it up with some colors to make it bright and cheery in certain places, and again contrasting heavily with the backgrounds. There's the cute little pup again in his shadowed out world, and I loved how I continued the dots on both of the images, and I had so much fun paper piecing her and shadowing her to the point where it looks like it almost jumps off the page. Love playing with highlights and lowlights and shadows and contrast because it makes a world of difference. I will never stop saying that. So that was the finish of the very first book that I shared with you guys in part one. I moved on to another craft journal. I really just have to break down and buy the Delusions one. I do. The papers are thicker, but I don't mind layering it up. And again, this is just like to get my hands dirty. I played off the whole Happy Mail, how Happy Mail is so big right now, so I made it vintage. I liked how I layered up the pens that you're seeing here. They turned out better than I ever could imagine. Love it. Again, highlights, lowlights, contrast make a huge difference. And then this guy was done simply with using watercolors. And then the layering of the background. Fun, right? Fun, simple. I like it. All right, moving into white. I don't mind white. It's my least favorite though. That's it. Canvas usually starts off white. No big deal. You make it your own. So I did. But you really have to work it. Like really, really work it. To get it the way you want. You can kind of see here it shows it all. I started off layering the papers to make it thicker, and I used book pages from a book that I'm altering. Went crazy with the embellishments. I like how I use stencils to take away, add some on. The colors are all Faber-Castell. They blend and move so easy with a little hint of water. It's like you just make the magic happen. So that's how everything was blended together, and I simply just use baby wipes and a little spray bottle. This was something I did at work on a lunch break the day I got the journal. Not going into it because it's nothing fierce, fabulous, nothing. All right, another take on desert life. You're gonna see it a lot because I'm conflicted if I like it here or if I am a true East Coaster and I belong with my sarcastic people. But again, you can see I started with the book pages, and you're gonna see rock formations all over the desert. And don't get me wrong, they are gorgeous. Desert scenery is beautiful. But then it's in the background where like everything's dead here. So it's really an interesting place to visit and live for the most part. I thought that saying was great with this page. Life was beginning all over again with summer. These are some rub-ons that I used a Pitt pen to highlight some pieces that I needed to stand out more. And overall, I think it's a really fun page. All right, so this was New York, and I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, yes, I can cut out the shape of New York straight from my head without looking at anything. Apparently, I need to go back to school really quick because that is not what New York looks like. But some of the advantages is I was playing with different techniques and whatnot, and I love how little things like, oh, I like how that turned out. I love Dilutions paints. Can't say it enough. Great investment. I'm so happy about those things. The fading of the stamp, I like how some things turned out. Here, it was all about texture. I wanted to play with texturing and layering more, and you can see I layered so much, I busted the page. That's how you know you're doing something right. In my eyes, it was a good time. Now, the one thing I had to pull back on is an artist's worst nightmare. And I don't care who you are as an artist, you feel for me when this happens. When you start making mud, I added gold on top of some colors, and it almost made that muddy look. That's when you need to, you know, throw in the towel, start again, wipe away. Mud is the worst thing you can do as an artist with your supplies. So if you're making mud instead of magic, pull back a little and try a different technique. Simplest way I can put it. I love the saying with this though. You would think with all your multiple personalities, at least one would be likable. Sorry, I messed that up in the beginning, but it's kind of like my retail rant. Sometimes customers just get to me, but I put on layering of the flowers, layering of the background. You can see that it's all textured and fun together. I had a really good time experimenting on this page. So overall, it was a really fun experience, even though really close to making mud. Here on the back side, you can see how it shimmers and it almost looks plastic or leather-like. It was done with Mod Podge, and I hate gloss anything because it never seems to dry the way I would want it to. But with the map paper was my starting paper that I used. Went over it with subtle stamping and whatnot in the same color scheme. And I love how some of it just pops in the background. A napkin that I just fussy cut the image out and Mod Podged on. Just using, again, the Pitt pens, which I love how they write out anything to make some of the pieces stand out after I covered them with the blue. This is a stamp, and when your jelly roller works, and when I say it works, it turns out awesome. This one just says, embrace beautiful chaos. But even in my head, I would have never pictured it to turn out the way it does. So this is a definite awesome plus, and I can't wait to do it on a bigger style canvas. Continuing with the Mod Podge, because I wanted to finish up that napkin while I had it out. Started with the green to make the flowers come up into, again, another very desert sky feel. And then right here you'll see brush marks, and all I did was load up some color and drop it just to see what would happen. it's really actually kind of fun to do. Stenciling that fades in and out. I love that look. And then you can see shadowing again to make the butterfly pop. This one simply says, use your wings, and you can take that however you want to. So I have 3 pages to go until I'm done with this book, but this started off not going to be Halloween and the colors made it that way. But I love the way this image pops off the page with just adding orange. I'm telling you, play with colors, see what happens. Love doing it. And I think it's funny that she's saying eek, even though she is one of those things that go bump in the night. I started this one by adding gesso to add some girth to the page, and within the gesso, in the little bowl that I was using, I put some of my spritz in it, and it made this really weird color, and I played off of that and added more purples, and then I was like, yeah, we definitely need some green in here, and that's how it came together. But I love the texture that everything made. So that's it so far. I moved into a smaller journal, and I'll show you that soon, I hope. I hope you guys enjoyed. Questions, comments, please leave them down below, and thank you guys for watching, and as always, keep crafting.